In fact, there's a huge, huge game to start the season. There always is in multiple areas, in multiple settings. I mean, North Carolina, TCU, Bill Belichick, right? You got a bunch of games going down to open the season, but I don't think any is going to be bigger than Alabama versus Florida State. You know, I've been a huge Florida State fan since I was a kid, and things seem to be unraveling right now. We had the undefeated season, we got robbed from going to the playoff, and then boom, the team dismantles, and then we have to play Georgia in a bowl game, which we should have never played because 70% of the team is gone and we got throttled. And people think you're seeing the same team. No, the college football, by the time you get to the bowl game, that half the team's gone. Okay, that's just the way it is. Like, if you don't make the playoffs, those teams that don't make the playoffs, you're already rolling into the next year. So it's like a preseason game at this point in a bowl game. So the team dismantles Florida State. Looks terrible last year. Brings in DJ Uli, whatever, Uli Ungalale, or however you say it. Had high hopes because it's Florida State football. Just terrible. God awful. And the team has a losing season. Pathetic. Now we got big hopes again uh, with Castellanos coming in from BC to lead the Seminoles this year, Florida State. I'm excited about him, but what I'm not excited about in a matchup against Alabama to start the season is you don't have time to get things rolling, right? You have to be rolling right away to beat Alabama, and that's going to be tough. Florida State football with Bobby Bowden, and this is before, probably why Nick Saban left too. I mean, this is before all the NIL stuff and people transferring every year, and it's wide open. Florida State was one of the best at building the team from freshmen to seniors. From freshmen to seniors. Very difficult to do that nowadays. Very difficult. You got people transferring out, you bring in people in to salvage the season, right? 2 years in a row, you're bringing in a senior quarterback. You don't get to work with them. You don't get to build them in your offense and program. This is a major problem for Florida State and in all college football, and you can't avoid it. Because if you just sit back and say, you know what, we're not getting involved in this, we're going to build our team from the ground up, some of these players are going to leave. Some of these players that are backups are going to leave because they want, even if it's at a little bit of smaller of a program that's not going to be as good because they want to be the starter, they want to get that money. So Florida State football is going through a major change. And this is why Mike Norvell had that undefeated regular season, did great, all that. But in this changing era, the coach you want would have been Deion Sanders. And Florida State can make the case they didn't really know what he was capable of before, but he was an alumni. I mean, Deion Sanders is going to be the best in this current generation. I mean, look what he did with Colorado in just a year or two. Completely transformed the program because he's able to bring in people and recruits right away. And then those recruits remain loyal, right? That's hard to find right now. And that's Florida State football in the past with Bobby Bowden. And Jimbo Fisher at least continued it because he got it at a tight. He continues, able to continue it and navigate it for a while before he up and left. But this is a crazy matchup to start the season, especially coming off just a god-awful season last year. And you got to play Alabama first. I'm going to be going into the game like I do with everything, preparing for Florida State to win. But I may be in for a letdown. Right now, the odds are Alabama, 12.5-point favorite. Coming into Doak Campbell, coming into Florida State. So that's the way that looks. But, man, I'm looking forward to the season kicking off. I'm looking forward to football beginning. I would rather Florida State play Prairie View or something in week 1. 1-0 against a nobody is better than 0-1 against somebody. But we did see some cracks in Alabama last year. They were 9-4, not like 11-1 or 12-0 or 10-2, right? They were 9-4. And this could be a year that Alabama falls off the cliff with Nick Saban now out a couple of years, and players leaving, new players coming in, all that type of stuff. 9-4, they could fall to 7-7, right? 6-7, 7-6, real quick. And can Florida State capitalize? That's going to be the question. But how Mike Norvell still has a job there after the god awful record last year, it's hard to understand. But that's the way it seems uh, right now. It's just hard to understand. If you have a losing record at Florida State, unless it's your first year and it's like 6-7, man, I don't care what you did the previous year, you got to go. I mean, you got to go. So we'll see if they can bounce back this year. I have high hopes, but that's always until the season kicks off. Like Mike Tyson said, everybody's got a plan until you get punched in the mouth. And those plans go out the window. But I have high hopes for Florida State right now, and we'll see how it goes